What up, y'all? So I've been trying this new app today, and it's basically people having conversations. So it made me want to have some conversations. And I've been noticing. Am I supposed to do that thing where I pretend like I'm waiting for people to come into the room? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Neither is my dime. Hey, I sang the song and people came into the room. What's up, y'all? I just got on here because I just wanted to kind of rant a little, but also talk. I want people to ask me questions if people have any questions. But for real, I've been having a lot of conversations in spaces with people. So I found this app called Stereo, and in the app, it's kind of like Clubhouse, but I haven't been on Clubhouse yet. But it's like podcast based. So the idea is that you come in and you create a topic and you actually debate and have discussions. And I've been realizing that a lot of times people are willing to have the debates and have the discussions, but people like doing it just for the fire of it. People like doing it. I don't know. I think people just like running their mouths. I think people just like being heard. I think people like expressing themselves, but people don't really want to get to a place of like understanding and actual like, I don't know, resolve. It's like people don't want to learn. And so it just made me wonder like, are people's beliefs like, we're at a point where I feel like we need to start questioning and challenging what we believe, and even beliefs in general. Like beliefs have so much power over us, and like what we believe fuels everything. And if you really talk to a person, the last thing that they're willing to change or surrender or let go of is their beliefs. And so I don't know, I think that's interesting. And I wanted to know what y'all thought about that, or how y'all felt about that, or if anybody, what type of hold does your beliefs have on you? Like, I can't see if there's any chats because for some reason it's not showing up. It's not showing up. It's not showing up. You can see my finger trying to figure it out. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are just people be whack. We're kind of rambling, but that's my thing. I ramble. I think people be whack, and I'm low key kind of over it. I'm low key over people not really wanting to change or grow. I'm low key over people just being so caught up in their own stuff. And somebody needs to tell people that like what you believe is whack. What you believe is trash. Like more people need to be told that. Like people be so caught up in their own fields, in their own perspective, in their own world. And I just think a lot of us need to accept the reality that some of the shit that we believe, excuse my French, it's just whack. It's just whack. Oh snap. Oops. Okay. Had a little glitch. Write something in the chat because I can't see the chat. So if you can, just write something in the chat so I can focus a little so I can know. Okay, yes. Thank you, Shikoba. Yes, because I was kind of like, oh, I think I felt alone. Alone in the room, child. It was just me and you. But I'm really on here to just vibe. I'm trying to go live more. I'm trying to express more. And I don't know, I was having a conversation with people about mental health, and it's a sticky topic for people because first off, we haven't had a lot of conversations about mental health as a community, as a society. And then when you think about black and brown people, we don't really know how to deal with mental health because a lot of times we put those type of situations into the very institutions, into the very people, place, and things that we don't necessarily trust or that we know are oppressing us. And so it's like trusting other people to deal with the most sensitive parts of ourselves has placed us in a very disempowered place, if you ask me. But then when you try to, so I'm having this conversation with these people, and I bring up the idea of spirituality and needing to embrace some type of spiritual practice, or not even embracing a spiritual practice, but having a spiritual lens when you're looking at mental illness, when you're looking at those types of things. And as soon as I said the word spirituality, it's like everybody in the room is just like, what? What is she talking about? How do those two go? And it was a humbling moment for me because I'm like, how do they not go? How do they not go? But I think putting them together kind of forces people to have to really take a different type of accountability. And I think that's why mental illness still exists and still plagues people the way that it does, because in a lot of ways, some of us like it. And I know some people gonna get mad, and you can get mad, that's cool. But I feel like in a lot of ways, some people, I won't even say we like it. Let me not say that, because I know people who suffer from extreme mental illness. But we've gotten comfortable. We've gotten stagnant. We've gotten used to, like it's the same thing with like a slave mentality. It's like it's not that people like being slaves. It's not that people like not thinking for themselves, but that's what people are used to. That's what people know. That's what people are taught. That's what people consume. So you can't blame the people for that. But I think everything that's been happening in the world is just making me realize we have to have a different space of compassion for that and patience and breaking down those energies and having those conversations. And like that's going to take a level of people getting over what they believe and getting over how they feel and being able to shift their beliefs. Like, how can we grow if we don't shift our beliefs? Even thinking about black people, black people ain't really trying to get free because niggas ain't out here trying to fucking free the church. So like black people ain't out here trying to cause a revolution within the structures and the systems of our spiritual system. So it's like, how can we really say we're trying to liberate ourselves when the one part of us that was the most broken, the most, manipulated, but also the most still kept impact is like the one part of ourselves that we don't fight for, that we don't, make awareness known to. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's some, I feel like that's just some stuff that's just been weighing on my heart. And I don't know. I probably maybe could have just recorded this as a video and not went live because obviously this ain't the time, like trying to fit in with the algorithm. But there's also a part of me that's just trying to be more vulnerable with my sharing and with my expressing and letting people in. And even in me bringing up this idea of in society, how, or with others, how faith is something that we struggle with, or our beliefs is something that we don't really want to change. It's me also expressing that because that's something that I'm dealing with or facing in my own battle. To really revolutionize, to really change, to really be something new, you have to change what you believe. You have to change what you believe in. And that does take a level of vulnerability and a level of uncomfortability. That takes a level of being, in a lot of ways, naked and exposed, but it's for the better. And I think it's humbling to have to realize how the average person is avoiding that process and how the average person is not really trying to lean into that process. And it's like there's a thin line between having compassion and enabling people. There was a thin line between, being in the process and just making sure that, there's a thin line between being in the process and being a block in the energy, and stopping stuff from really moving. And I think, I don't know, it's like we live in this time in a world where people are like, it's the apocalypse, it's this, it's that, there's so much going on. But to see how comfortable people still are within their own spirits, that's the thing that'll drive a person crazy. That's the thing that'll make somebody question everything, because it's like, what, I don't even think that we have to fight or die, but it's like, what are you really willing to live for? Like, and what are you really willing to believe? Are you willing to believe like better? Are you willing to see something better? I mentioned something earlier like that, and somebody was like, it's toxic positivity. And I'm like, I understand toxic positivity, but I think forcing people to take accountability and forcing people to stand in their energy, forcing people to name things for what they are, forcing people to get to the root, I don't think that's toxic positivity. And we got to a point in the conversation where they understood where I was coming from. But it's like, even the initial thought of what I was saying, the fact that it made them go there. And I'm just like, what is that? I know what it is, but I'm also like, child, I don't know. People are very hopeless. Like, there's a hopeless energy that is in the air. And it's hard to ignore it, but it's also, I don't want that. Like, I ain't trying to be like that. I ain't got time for that. Okay, like I need to breathe. I need to be alive. And can't nobody, it's hard to, make your dreams come true. It's hard to have a relationship with joy if you're hopeless. But again, I don't think most people are willing to sit with themselves and admit the ways in which they are hopeless, the ways in which I'm not being authentic, the ways in which I am still afraid of something, the ways in which I'm not being my real self, the ways in which I lie to myself, and not because I'm a liar, but because it's the only way I've been able to survive. It's like that's what being authentic means. That's what being vulnerable. Hey, Shikoba, shout out to you. But people can't handle it. Make me think they're like, hey, you can't handle the truth. It's like, nah, you can't handle yourself. People be thinking they afraid of their shadows, and it's like you're actually afraid of the part of yourself that is pure. You're afraid of the part of yourself that is powerful, that is big. You're afraid of the part of yourself that is invincible and that like believes that everything is possible. You're not afraid of your shadows. You're not afraid of your demons. That's a cop out. That's old news. Like our demons are our distractions from our true self. The demons are never really the thing. The fear is never really the thing. It's what's behind it that what's behind it. We often think that's the destination or that's what we get after we overcome this, but it's like, no, that was the thing that was fueling in the first place. How big your light was. And it's like you have to learn how to integrate that. You have to learn how to come to peace with that and be okay with that and to move in that. And I don't know. Like I'm ready for something new. Okay, I'm ready for some new energy. I'm ready for I'm ready I'm ready for people to be alive. Like I'm ready for people to not get offended because people are alive, because people are confident, because people are fully connected to themselves. Like, and I know that exists, but it's like the fact that it's not just it's not the common standard. It's like, what? And I know some people could be like, Earth is not for that. Like, Earth is here and karma and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I'm here though, okay? Like, I came here. I came to Earth feeling the way I feel with the thoughts, with the energy that I have. And if this could be a thought, if this could be a concept in my head, then why can't I bring it to life? Like, why not? And that's the real thing. Like, that's the real thing. Like, I got 3 people in here. What y'all talking about? Y'all got any questions? Y'all got anything to say? It's 2 people. I'm sorry. I keep teetering that line. Y'all got any questions? What y'all? It could be about anything. It could be about astrology. It could be about health. It could be about wellness. It could be about whatever. But I'm kind of talking about faith and people needing to shift their faith. But I also was just open to the conversation and what was on people's hearts and minds. Well, people, let's just keep okay? Keisha is here to keep it. But I don't know. It all started because I was on this app called Stereo, which is kind of like Clubhouse, but it ain't Clubhouse. But you should check it out because I'm about to actually start doing stuff on it. It's kind of podcast based. This ain't no sponsorship in this. I literally just found it and I was like, this seems like a good way for me to, you know, get some stuff off my chest. But it's kind of set up like podcasts. It's like the ideal of having a podcast. And you can get on and you can schedule shows so you can go live at certain times and have a certain topic. And then they it's like an environment where they want people to debate and discuss things and really talk about real stuff. And so it's been interesting. And I want to try to start curating some stuff in there. I'm actually going live tonight to talk about love and relationships. So if you want to hear more of me rambling, get on Stereo. But I don't know, y'all. I just now's the time to really change your relationship with your faith. Like, what do you believe in? Do you believe in anything? Have you ever let yourself admit that to yourself? Have you ever let yourself like just carry that without judgment? Like, are your beliefs holding you? I ask that question because it's like a lot of people think they believe in stuff. A lot of people think they're the ones in power or whatever, but really it's your beliefs that it's the fear, it's those things that are actually, having a hold over you. And it's because you're holding on to it. You hold on to the beliefs, but then it's like, hello, now the beliefs are running the show. And have they been updated? Are they still in alignment? Are they in alignment with your joy? Are they in alignment with your purpose? Like, Not what your mama said, not what your daddy said, not what society said, but like what your heart and spirit is telling you. Like that's why people can't really do the work, because to do the work it really does require you to have ultimate trust and faith, not only in yourself but in God. Whatever God means to you. Sometimes when I say God, you say God and religion and people get all they start getting all and it's like, bruh, like you just have to believe. Like whether it's in your breath, like something. Like I don't know. I think people, because I understand the idea of being agnostic. I understand the idea of like even not believing in God. But I do think there is an aspect of it where it's, I know I'm starting to sweat y'all. I think there's an aspect of it where it's like to even not believe in God is to raise a question that there is something that exists. So all I'm saying is that people should acknowledge that there is something that exists that we cannot see. There's something that's bigger than us. There's something that connects us all, even if it's not bigger than us. There's something that connects us all. There's something that gave this like tree the same intelligence to do what it needs for itself that it gave the birds, that it gave me. So I feel like when I say God, I'm speaking to that part of your human self that steps outside of your human self and acknowledges that you don't run everything. You're not in charge. You couldn't have did this by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so like even just dismantling like whatever notion or oppression that you have around God, but to make it very personal again, to make it indigenous. And it's like most people can't do that. Like most people aren't willing to do that. And the reason why is because of their beliefs. And yet that's the one thing that we're not actually doing the work with. And I just all these communities is whack, man. The spiritual community, all the communities, okay? It just get in there, be real clicky, and then it be like real shallow, and then it just be a bunch. I say this word a lot, but it be a bunch of false prophets just talking all of the stuff that they learned, but none of the stuff that they've actually experienced. Exactly. Light up. You know, I ain't never smoked on YouTube before. I don't know if I would get in. Do you get in trouble? People, I watch people smoke on YouTube. I should probably just smoke on YouTube. Maybe I'm gonna smoke on YouTube. Who knows? I'm probably just not gonna say this live. Not that I don't. People know I'll be smoking. I'm just very selective, you know. I'm the mysterious type. Guess my rising, okay? Because it's definitely not my sun or moon sign that's mysterious. But my rising sign be like, hold up, you don't know me like that, you know. But no, for real. No, for real, y'all. I don't know. Like, I do know. I'm saying it. We saying it. Oh, I just didn't have the chats on. I'm the one who was messing up. Okay. Bam. We in there. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. A few years ago, I would have been like that depressed person that was somewhere because I just have all these questions and thoughts and emotions and feelings and I get overwhelmed with them. But now I'm like, that's a waste of time. I don't have time for that. And I am feeling this pull and this call to just bring action to stuff, create stuff, do stuff, build stuff. You know, and I think living in another country helps because even thinking about it in America, if you want to build a house in America, there's so many stages you have to go through, so many steps. Unless you obviously live in the country somewhere, you just got you some land and ain't nobody bothering you in your country or rural ass place, you know. But if you don't, there's so many steps that you have to go through. And I've seen people literally here get land, have land, or even land that they're renting and they just build up a house. Some of the houses be 10 roofs and like not even materials that some people in America would even consider living in because American privilege. But it's also like, nah, but these people can just get up and build themselves a house if they need to, you know, because they need to. And I feel like there's just parts of being in America that has disconnected us from the part of life that we can just get up and feel like we can do stuff. Like we are all connected in one way or the other, but it all works. Here's our fuse since you're unplugged. Yeah. I was being in the jungle has helped me to see more, but it's also helped me to see how much of myself just like needs to like I bum up. Like, you know, like I need to just no more excuses. Like stop, you know, do it. Like do it. Get up and do it. try, mess up. Like, even learning languages. Americans don't be knowing other languages because we so caught up on not looking stupid and not knowing the answers and not our beliefs. It all goes back to, again, our beliefs. We are so strong and holding on to our beliefs, our identities, even though these things aren't always in alignment with what we really need and what we're really calling for. And it's like, how do you get rid of that? I mean, obviously there's steps, there's tools. Even as like a coach, I help people work through stuff. But it's like this stuff is also happening to us in real time, Like, we are dismantling these programs. We are dismantling these beliefs. We are dismantling these systems and structures in real time. And it's like we have a lot of conversation about the outside stuff, and like the spiritual community likes to pretend that it's having a conversation about the inside stuff, but we haven't been doing that. We have not been doing that. We are so uncomfortable with the truth. We are so just afraid of the truth, our own truth, other people's truth. We're afraid to be wrong. Like, and that's the ego. Like, that is the ego. And it's not, I don't want to say it's the ego. I want to say it's the wounded ego. Because again, the ego is not a bad concept. In astrology, the ego is ruled by the sun. The ego is connected to the father energy. It's connected to the energy of Leo, like of creativity, like of source. So it's like the ego has a good purpose. The ego takes your gifts and it magnifies it. But if your ego is wounded, if your ego is toxic, if your ego is trying to prove a point or protect you, then your ego is only going to create those type of circumstances in your reality. You know what I'm saying? And it's like our ego won't allow us to see that our beliefs are also wounded, that our beliefs are also no longer serving us. And the only way we can shift that and get rid of that is through accountability. It's through being real with ourselves. Like, it's through allowing mirrors to come in our lives and like expose us to the parts of ourselves that need to shift and be corrected. And sometimes just need to go. Okay? A lot of the behaviors and the stuff that we like settle for, just trash. We be having trash ass energy, y'all. Like, people are really apathetic. That's the word. Yeah, people don't have apathy. People don't have no apathy, or they're apathy. Whatever. However you use that word in the sentence, that's the word though. If you look it up, that's the word I'm trying to. People are just so disconnected and numb. And it's like, talk about the zombie apocalypse, man. I remember when The Walking Dead first came out, I was like, yo, this show is preparing me. And here we are. Here we are. Here we are. I guess that's not the type of song you would think you would sing if you was in a zombie apocalypse. But if I'm gonna be in a zombie apocalypse, I wanna be jamming. Okay? Vibing. I don't know. Y'all really don't have no questions? People be like, I ask my subscribers, what y'all want me to do? And they be like, do a Q&A. And then I do it. And I'm like, y'all not going to ask me no questions. It just makes me feel like I need to talk and ramble. And I will. And also, okay, somebody said it. I'm going to just do this. I don't think I'm going to keep this on YouTube. But we personal, okay? I'm just going to show y'all my real self today. So, here we go. Woo! And just like this, it became an adult show. But yes, y'all want me to tell y'all about how I started connecting with this plant? Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all didn't ask, not for real, but I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay, so it all started because when I was younger, I used to be that person that was like, I'm never gonna smoke. Like, forget smoking. Partially being because my parents. My dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict, but he was also a veteran. So even just all of those things kind of go hand in hand together if you think about how some veterans have to move in the world. Especially all veterans be having it bad, but I don't even want to put a color on it because all veterans, I was like, the stuff they go through, it takes a lot. I don't really understand it. I wouldn't do it, but it is something where I'm like, not everybody has it in them to do that. So my father had that type of energy. And my mother she had me at 41, and by the time she had me, she was still doing drugs. I am officially an ex-crack baby. So that's just a little background on even my story. So growing up, I was very like, I ain't smoking, I ain't having sex. I ain't doing none of that stuff. I ain't about to be a stereotype. Y'all not about to get me, right? So come 18, I started tripping, started having depression real bad. It was a buildup. I had depression. I was a depressed little kid, okay? I was definitely like little black Wednesday Addams, but like swaggy Wednesday Addams because I was a tomboy in a way, but whatever. By the time I got to like 18, it caught up though. And then I went to college and it got real bad. So I was suicidal. I was dealing with a bunch of stuff and I started doing research. And I'm in therapy. They trying to send me to a psychiatrist. They trying to, all this stuff, trying to give me medicine. And I was like, yo, I'm not really, I tried the medicine for a month and I was like, this not gonna work. The way my energy is set up, this ain't gonna work. Okay, I'd rather feel everything than not feel nothing. So I did some research and I found out that if I changed my diet and started smoking, mind you, during this process, I'm also taking care of my aunt. So I got an aunt dying of cancer. I just tried to commit suicide because I'm depressed and I'm trying to deal with all this stuff. I'm having a spiritual awakening, like just all this stuff happening. And I was like, you know what? If all I gotta do is do a little, if all I gotta do is do a little bit of that and eat real good, I'm gonna try it. So I'm an extremist. So I went like vegan. Like I'm just eating life. Nothing in me is gonna be dead. And then I started smoking and working out a lot because my energy is the type of energy where I need to get it out. Like I ain't the type of person that gotta stay mad, but if I do get mad, just let me move the energy. And I don't even need to have to actually practice it or project it onto you. And so by doing that, it helped me. It helped me a lot. Like I literally went from judging everybody who did it, not because I thought it was bad, but because of the stereotypes and because of what I was trying to avoid, to being like, you know what, this is actually helping me kind of work through what people call mental illness. And now I'm at a place with it where it has helped me, but I am trying to make sure that I'm not, because we can create addiction. We can do stuff and not really want to admit it. Like I've been saying, your beliefs, your faith. And so I've been just trying to make sure that I'm recognizing a space where I'm letting it do the work for me and not utilizing the tools and the stuff that I know. Because there's a thin line, okay? There was a thin line. Some of you niggas need to put it down, okay? Some of y'all need to chill on it. And then some of y'all might need to pick it up. It's just about finding that balance and awareness. But I don't know, it be helping me. But I also am very aware of the times when like it's not helping me and I need to stop. And I guess I'm giving y'all some inside. You get some inside tea. Oh, I don't know if people who are on here all are subscribers, but I've been calling my subscribers cousin as of late because somebody suggested it. And which I think is very me. What up, cousins? What's popping? My cousins. I'm also thinking about dropping some merch. This is all stuff that I was like not going to do, or I was like I can't do this until. But I'm creating something, and I'm an artist, and that's a part of what it means to be an artist and freaking the future, because I call this the future, even though the real future is like in the future, but like this right now future, because it's so new. But being an artist, you just got to do some stuff. It's like you got to pimp yourself, and it's like, how do I want to pimp myself? What type of hoe do I want to be? Can you say hoe on YouTube? I don't know. Now y'all seeing the hood part. They're like, she's so sweet, but then the hood come out. And it's like, what's good, y'all? Some standards I'm just not going to let go of because culture. You feel me? You feel me? Ooh. Y'all want me to sing a song? I'm going to just keep rambling. I never thought I would smoke on the internet. I might cry when I get off of here. I'd be paranoid. I'm like, I just be trying not to have anything people can use against me. But who cares? Who cares? If y'all like it, I love it. No, that's not true. Because some stuff people be liking and I can't really get jiggy with. But I will respect you and I will honor you. But also with boundaries. Yeah. I'm gonna finish this up. These flies. I thought living in another country when I first moved here, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to find a new person. It's gonna be, and I'd be paranoid and I'm private. So, but y'all, everybody smoke weed everywhere, even people you wouldn't think. Like, it's crazy. Like, but also the medicines you can make out of it. Like, if you got pain, you can get you some rubbing alcohol. You could put some rosemary, some of the marijuana, just like if you smoke, take some of yours like a nugget, just chop it up real fine, put it in some rubbing alcohol. I'll put like rosemary, chamomile, and maybe like oregano or something like that. And then let that sit. Just let it sit and you'll watch all the colors change. And then when you start having pain in your body, because alcohol goes straight to the bone. So when you start having pain in your body, made you a handmade little rub, People just be, we don't take advantage of all the ways we can work with the stuff that we got, We just gotta get more resourceful. And I think that's very age of Aquarius. Even if you think about any other times in history when there's been pandemics, when there's been crises like this, it's like that was a time when people are like really rearranging how society looks. New businesses are starting, like people start getting innovative. You got to like start inventing and doing stuff, and I feel like that's what this time is calling for. And I think we're also shocked about it because the internet has made us believe that we're creating new things, but it's like, no, bro, you're not in real life. Like, you're uploading to a platform, and yes, that is creating something for you, but what have you really built? Like, what have you really made? Like, what with your hands can you actually hold? Like, and I think that energy people fear. We fear that, but that's what we need. That's what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Everything's a song, okay? We need more love, and we need more people to get a little innovative. Okay, Shakoba, you keep writing. You Aquarius, okay? What you over there inventing? What you creating? What's y'all signs in here? Tell me y'all signs. Put your sign in the chat so I can see what type of energy we working with. The camera's right here. I keep looking over there. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm clearly fried. Just a little bit. Not actually, but put your signs in the chat so I can know what type of energy we working with. Sagittarius. Okay, fire. Come through fire. Not only fire, but the fire that is like over faith. That's what I've been talking about. This rebirth of faith, this rebirth of fire. Sagittarius energy embodies that. Scorpio sun, Leo rising, Aqua moon. Okay, fierceness. That's warrior energy. And you got that fire in your rising sign. And Aquarius. Okay, you got all the elements. The Scorpio sun makes it to where you are the person who your life is always going to take you through transformation. You're always going to have to be transforming. You're always going to have to be embracing the parts of life that most people don't want to. Embrace that part of yourself because that is a gift. Most people can't do that. Most people can't sit with the depths and be okay with it. The problem is to not be overcome by that. Then you got the Leo rising, which is fire, which is also interesting because the Scorpio energy makes it to where it's like you like people, but not really. You like connections, but you don't necessarily like the people aspect. It's like, if I can get the connections without the people, that's what's up. But then the Leo energy is all like, look at me. I'm here. I'm shining. I'm bright. So when people meet you, they get this energy of like, oh, this big light. I just want to be around it like a moth. Or what Janet Jackson say, like a moth to the flame. Like that's how it feels. And that's also that creative energy because Leo rules the heart. It rules children. It also gives you that like queen, like, I'm that bitch, okay? Don't get it twisted. It's me. Hello, here. But then the Aquarius moon. Ooh, child. Aquarius moon, the disconnected sign. And not disconnected in a bad way, but just Aquarius is the sign that is like, really, I'm human? Are you sure I'm human? Really? Okay. It's like the sign that's learning to be human. It's the sign that is like, it just disconnects from the emotional aspect of the human experience because it understands it in an intellectual way. It's like Aquarius sees things before it happens. It just feels it. So that's an interesting narrative to be having because your sun sign is so deep, but then your moon sign probably makes it in a way where You don't actually allow yourself to sit in the depth. And then your rising sign makes it so that, like, as much as you are this mysterious kind of very to yourself person, because you think differently, because you see things differently, because you feel and understand differently, people don't really know because you don't really know. Exactly. You be all over the place, girl. You need to learn how to sit still. Okay, you just need to learn how to sit still and be okay with that and let people come to your light. You are, ooh, and Mercury and Sag child. You need to sit down, okay? Just be the light. Just, you are a throne, be on your throne and let things come to you and don't be afraid. And if you want to embrace, if you don't want to be dealing with shallow people, then don't be shallow, okay? If you want some depth, if you want some deepness in your life, then actually start being a reflection of that. You feel me? Because that might also be something that you run from. Let's see. We had a Libra rising, Aries. What a Libra rising, Aries sun. Child, that's, I get your energies, okay? I'll just say that. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but I get your energies. Wait, go back to that. So Aries sun, first off, gang, 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 gang. All of this, that was Aries energy. This is also perfect because the moon is in Aries right now. So Aries energy is just right now. Aries is the birth of, it's the first breath. It's like, it's the spark of fire. It is that beginning fire. Even when you think about any person, their experience, like Aries is always at the start of the journey with you. That moment that you see something and you're just like, oh my God, that's Aries energy. Aries energy doesn't have to think because Aries is kind of tapped into its own instincts. That's why I heard this quote that said, like, if you want to mess an Aries up, like, make them think, like, ask them questions, get them to start thinking. And most people don't get that about Aries because they're like, they're impulsive, they're whatever. But it's like, Aries is impulse, okay? It's not impulsive, it is impulse. So there's no way to disconnect it. Now, yes, there needs to be a better grounding with that and a better, like, practicing with that, but also other people need to learn how to embrace their own impulses and not fear them. Embrace their own fire and not fear them. And then you have the Aquarius moon, same thing I just said for her. That Aquarius energy is like, y'all like fortune tellers, but the thing is, it's like y'all don't take y'all's own advice. It's like y'all know, but you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the adding in the Libra aspect with a Libra rising. So first off, Aries and Libra. Got that cotton mouth. Let me take a little. So first off, Aries and Libra are opposite signs. So Aries is all about the individual self. When you think about babies, because Aries represents like that newborn phase. When you think about babies, newborns aren't thinking about the world around them. They have to take in everything through their own experiences. They learn to taste. They learn to look around. It's like everything kind of is in their perspective. So Aries embodies that energy. But when you have Libra, Libra is the opposite sign of that. So Libra represents partnership. It represents collaboration. It represents others. And when you have this Libra rising that is saying, like, I am here for collaboration. I love partnership. I love working with others. It's like that is very true, but your ego, your sun sign is also a very independent energy. So it's balancing this nature of knowing how to show up in collaborations without losing yourself, without not knowing how to hold space or wait for other people. This idea of also only choosing partnership through codependency in some ways, because you don't really know how to stay grounded in your independence while being with others. Because having that Aquarius moon is also like the weirdo. People say weirdo, but I just think they're outsiders. They're okay with being outsiders. The thing about Aquarius is they're the master friendship people. They're the masters of being in community because they have mastered that within themselves, or that is the goal. That is what you are supposed to embody. So you have to really find a way to know how to be independent, but to let that independence serve your relationships and not have to be the thing that gets in the way with it, or the thing that like causes tension or isolation or friction. You know what I'm saying? We had the Sagittarius energy, which I said Sagittarius is about that faith. Sagittarius rules the beliefs. And I think it's interesting because the eclipse we just had was even in the sign of Sagittarius. And I feel like there has been a call for us to give a rebirth to what we believe in, to give a rebirth into what we see, into what we feel, into what we allow ourselves to embrace about ourselves and the world around us. You know, like, we got any more signs? Because that's kind of fun. I did that one. It was a Scorpio. Scorpio is the watery fire sign. It's a water sign, but it's got fire tendencies. And I think that's why Scorpio doesn't understand itself because it's connected to Mars, which connects it to Aries. So Scorpio also knows the thing about instincts, but most times Scorpio will only go on those instincts when it comes to the negativity or the darkness. It's hard for them to like trust the light. It's hard for them to have faith in the joy because they are constantly going this like transformative cycle and having this rebirth or this snake-like energy. It kind of makes them have trust issues with joy or trust issues that the sun is going to come up. It's like I'm so used to being in the nighttime that is the sun going to come up? Am I really going to make it out of here? You know, like, and that's a part of the journey. It's like you're the person that's supposed to teach people how to navigate that. You're the person that's supposed to teach people that you can always be rebirthed, that you are like a phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Capricorn. Hey, Morgan. Capricorn. My earth signs. I love Capricorns, okay? Secretly, I have my North Node is in Capricorn, so I am supposed to embody Capricorn like qualities in this lifetime. Capricorn energy has been interesting because I think out of all the signs, even Virgo, out of all the earth signs, Virgo energy obviously has feminine energy connected to it, and people look at it as like the virgin or the human, or it's always the one that's connected to that nature, you know, like, and then Taurus, obviously, because it's Libra, but Taurus is kind of like that sexy aunt that like don't really like that ain't overtly sexy, but that's still just kind of like I know you see how I just am in my body and my existence and being like revel in me, you know, but like a quiet type of energy. But then Capricorn, because Capricorn is connected to Saturn, because Capricorn is the opposite energy of Cancer, which Cancer rules the moon, it rules the feminine energy, it rules the mother and nurturing and all of that. It's like we getting a bad rep. Listen, y'all, listen, don't listen to none of these people. All these people are misinterpreting things wrong, and that could be because I'm overly confident, but it also could just be because most niggas is they are cold. So here's the thing. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and it's the opposite sign of the feminine energy. So it is kind of like the masculine energy, but it's also the Saturn aspect gives it like a older masculine energy. So Saturn is like grandpa energy. Capricorn is like grandpa energy. And even when you think about your grandparents are the ones who love you the most, but also are the ones that seem a little more distant, a little like you can't get close to them, a little cold. There's something about them that just there's a disconnect. And that's because they carry, even just within their existence, their generations, their titles, they are the legacy, the matriarch. You know what I'm saying? So Capricorn just embodies that. It just knows what it means to just embrace responsibility, to embrace stuff like that. But sometimes it can only focus on those things, and then there's a disconnect between it and other people. It's like Capricorn energy is the type of energy that y'all do get a lot of bad rep, but I'm gonna be real. Capricorns only do things that serve them. And that's the negative thing about Capricorns. It's like even why people call them opportunists, or even why they're known to be the CEOs or known to be the ones that they're going to be successful because they're not going to let themselves be out. They just not gonna put themselves out. Okay, they're gonna make sure that they looked out for. What they need to learn how to do is to apply that energy to others. You know, even thinking about their opposite sign being Cancer, it's like for you to be the opposite sign of the mother, that means that energy is within you. It's natural to you. It's easy for you to provide that type of energy because it is at the root of you. But the thing is, Capricorn energy relies too much on the material part and the responsibility part. It's like, think about your dads. Like, I ain't have to hug you. You know how you think about the old tropes of like old black dudes or older men in general, even Southern men. It's like, you know, I fed you, I clothed you, I made sure you was all right. I don't gotta nurture you. Like, I don't gotta tell you I love you. You know I love you. That's Capricorn energy. But what Capricorn energy needs to learn is that you do need to tell people you love them, okay? You do need to express those things, not for other people, but for yourself, you know, so that you can grow your own heart, so that you can expand, you know, and that's the thing with Capricorn. Capricorns are really sweethearts. They do love. They just stubborn. Even going back to what I was originally talking about, faith. beliefs, thinking about stubborn old people energy that's just like, this is what I believe, this is just who I am. Like that is Capricorn energy, but that is also a lot of our energy, you know? Like that's how we all move. Like we only are willing to grow as comfortable as we are. But it's like if the wrong challenges come in, or if the wrong person challenge, or if the it's like I can only grow if it comes the right way. I can only evolve or expand my thoughts or belief if the right messenger or if the right circumstances come in. And it's like that's not real life. That's not real life. It's not real life. That is you trying to control. That is you manipulating your experience. That is also you stagnating yourself in a lot of ways. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all got any questions about signs y'all in relationships with? Like, y'all got some more signs y'all want to understand? Because I'm on a roll. I got to go to class in a little bit. I'm starting the herbalism class today. Because, you know, I do doula work. I really do be out here doing this work, you know, get with it. If you need to break down yourself, or, you know, redefine your narrative, hit me up. Because I'll be booking. But don't hit me up if you know, you ain't trying to. Money ain't always got to be the thing, but don't hit me up if you out here just trying to, because we could do that here, okay? Word. And that's just word from an ex-starving artist. But enough real, y'all got any, who y'all in a relationship with, which y'all want? Libra. Oh, lady Libra. Oh, hey, girl. Libra lady. Okay, so Libra is obviously connected to Venus. Well, obviously, maybe you didn't know that, but Libra is connected to Venus. And so Libra is feminine energy, is love energy, is when you think of Venus, you think of like the Oshuns, the Aphrodites, like those type of energies. Like Venus is just goddess of like creation in a lot of ways. And so this Venus energy, it has two ways that it's expressed: through Taurus, which is the earthly vessel for it, and then you have the Libra energy, which is the air vessel for it. And so when you bring the air quality, it makes this feminine. Ooh, your Venus in Libra. You are okay. So that's interesting because you're a Libra, and then your Venus, which Venus is the home planet of Libra, is also in Libra. So that means your Venus is at home with itself. That also means that this energy is really enforced in your chart a lot. So the Venus energy really shines out through you, and probably in a more balanced way, because you have Venus at home, even though it's not Taurus, it still is like a balance of the energy. But when Libra is expressed through the air quality, it brings in the masculine energy as well. So Libra is the masculine counterpart of the Venus energy. I'm looking at the trees, y'all. My bad. Okay. And so when it's expressed with the masculine energy, it does also, air signs just naturally detach. Okay. Air signs are more like, child, you got a Libra moon too, and a Virgo rising. Okay. Lady Libra. This is like, I don't want to call you like, this is like Stepford wife energy, but not really Stepford wife energy, but this is like, this, when you think of like a lady, this is like a lady. Like, you's a lady, okay? Like, you was a lady. I was just talking to my partner about that one. You's a lady, okay, child? So let me even address my tone when I'm speaking to you. Okay, so listen, let me soften my voice, bring in a little more of that feminine energy, because this is Libra. So, but when Libra is brought in with that masculine energy and that air energy, it brings a quality of, you know, the justice, the balance. You got to think about the scales. But even if you think about justice, thinking into like other types of ways that energy manifests, like if you into tarot, the justice card, you know, thinking about the scales, thinking about the core system, thinking about, it's funny because Cardi B is Libra with the Aries moon. And people always talk mess about her because she always commenting on, like, you know, politics and trying to be all here for the community. But that's Libra's nature. Libra is it's a political energy. It's a very like, I'm fighting for harmony and fairness and justice, and not just within myself, but everybody else, you know? And so but the thing about Libras is that Libras have a tendency to you can't escape from partnership. You can't escape from needing people. And so there's a part of Libra that resents this. That's why people be like Libras, you can't trust them, or sometimes people be like, or they be talking shit, or they sneaky, because there's a part of the Libra that, and then you got that Virgo in you too, because Virgo be judging people, and you got Virgo rising. Virgo is real like perfectionist, real, just real. Like it's just kind of, so when you put that with that Libra, that can breed an energy that could possibly kind of, you you might be a little judgmental. You might let that also get in the way of you allowing yourself to really grow and have real authentic relationships. It's like you want authentic relationships, but some of the stuff you want is kind of shallow. You kind of still, you going on the aesthetic, you going on the outside stuff. You're trying to keep the peace. You're trying to keep the harmony. Even thinking about the concept of a person in a relationship who loses themselves because they keep constantly trying to, I'm gonna say what I feel like needs to be said, or I'm gonna say what I think they want to hear. Yes, people pleasing, that codependency energy, and it's like, but then it's not really what you want. It's passive aggressiveness. Okay, it's passive aggressiveness, and so you just want to be careful of. Yeah, that Virgo rising, Virgo energy is real funny to me. Okay, because I think Virgo energy is so intuitive. It knows, like, if Jesus was coming back and you needed somebody to get everything together so that there was no error, no problem, okay? Virgo is the person that you call, because Virgo is going to be thorough. Virgo is going to have the connection with the random florist that specializes in whatever, and is going to make sure that, like, everybody's name is the same. Virgo is just going to get it done. But it's like having that gift of that perception. They don't know how to turn it off though. So it's like whether they're looking at something beautiful, they're going to be seeing all the detailed parts of it. And if they're looking at something that's ugly, they're going to be seeing all the detailed parts of it. And you just going to know, you're going to get it. But again, also that judgment, whenever we start judging things, we create a wall between us and the other thing. And it doesn't really allow us to see or be able to grow. With it in your 12th, it's probably a struggle to find balance. Wait, what's in the 12th house? With Sidereal, you're a Virgo. And Sidereal, I have a Virgo moon. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to tell y'all what I think about Sidereal. And wait a minute, what's in the 12th in the second house? I want to know. I don't know what y'all talking about with it. Okay, I'm gonna just wait. Somebody tell me. Ooh, okay. So I'm glad somebody said Sidereal. Yes, exactly. Because that Virgo can get in the way of even you just seeing. And it's funny because Virgos again can see, but when you start judging, that discernment get cloudy. Okay, and it's not even other people that it's gonna hurt. Is you start letting people in that's hurting you, or that's using you, or that's taken from you, or that really ain't there for all the right reasons. Oh yes, let me tell you. So I actually love sidereal. So sidereal is based off of, if your birth chart, the thing that changes is the location. So, in the Western astrology, the way we know it, the earth is like the point from where your location is. But in sidereal, her sun and moon are in a second. Oh, yeah. And other people. Yeah, it's bringing balance to that, but it's also, that's the moments where you could get codependent, and that's the moments where that energy could flare up the most. So when it comes to even money and stuff, even you trying to have partnerships and business partnerships and collaborations with friends and family, you have to have better boundaries with yourself, because that's your strength, but it can be where you can be weak, or have things that you're not seeing. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so sidereal to me, because Western astrology, tropical astrology, is based off of the location being the earth. And then sidereal astrology is based off of the location being like the stars or the cons. Oh, hello, Indonesia. Good morning. I don't know how to say that in Indonesian or whatever language. I'm sorry. See, being on the internet, it's like you just say what you think, but it sound ignorant. It's like I didn't mean to. Whatever. I'm gonna just keep going. Hello. In sidereal astrology, is this the location is based off of the stars or the constellations. So for me, through my research and through even just understanding how my two charts work together, how the sidereal chart and the Western chart are mirrors of each other. It's just they express the energies in different ways. I realized that the sidereal astrology is what I think is the astrology of your spirit, of your soul. So not thinking about your body, but just thinking about the what your spirit's birth chart looks like. And so then the Western astrology or the tropical astrology, that is telling you the astrology of the body, of the vessel that you are in. So for instance, if a person, I'll just use myself, but I'm probably gonna not save this live because whatever. So my sun is in Aries in tropical astrology. So that's a very fiery warrior like energy. It's very, I'm just whatever. People love to hate me, and hate to love me. But whatever. It's a very Aries statement, I get it. But in sidereal astrology, my sun sign is Pisces. Okay. And then in sidereal astrology, my moon sign is Virgo and my rising sign is Capricorn. Okay, so a Pisces with a Virgo moon and either way, I was meant to be hella tapped in and hella just blessed. Okay, highly flavored. Okay, we're highly flavored over here. But then I was like, how does this make sense? I'm a Pisces. Pisces is obviously the sign that comes before Aries. But I'm like, how do I navigate this? So then I was like, and why am I Aries if I have this Pisces energy? Like, that's why it don't make sense. That's why people don't ever believe my fire. But then I realized, okay, if my spirit is a water sign, a sensitive water sign, a water sign that is in the position of I feel like this could be my last life if I get it right. Like I'm at that final port. This could be my with Capricorn rising, Virgo moon. I feel like that's the type of energy of like, all right, God, I think this could be the one. Master teacher, we out. Okay. So if I have this very sensitive spirit, this spirit that is very tapped in, but this spirit that obviously with Capricorn being on the rising has a mission, has something, has work to do. I can understand why in my earthly thinking about the context of earth, thinking about how earth moves, thinking about just the energy on earth. You can't be weak out here, okay? And I'm not talking about no survival of the fittest, but you gotta be able to stand in your own or you'll get got, okay? And so it makes sense why my spirit would need a more fiery energy, a more protective energy, a more protective body or vessel to live in. So, but then also why it needs a vessel that doesn't kind of get caught up in its own world, because the Pisces energy could be very here, with the Virgo moon, it can make it so I can make sense why my spirit has a Virgo moon, which means my earthly body needs to have a Libra moon so I can consider other people, so I can see both sides, so I can find the balance. So I feel like those two charts work together. They tell you two different perspectives of your journey and your path. It's like the perspective of your spirit and the perspective of, your human mission and your human body and what you're supposed to be. And that's literally, I ain't never heard nobody, I came up with that on my own. So if you hear somebody like say it, like show me, because I'm like, I would love to talk about it more. But that's just what I've understood from even looking at people's charts. Because I don't know, I feel like we are all here for a mission. And your mission may not be to like save the world or to like even do anything outside of your home or outside of your family, but it's like our spirits all have a purpose and a calling and a longing that they are connected to. And I feel like coming to earth means that a part of you agreed to, thank you. Oh, okay, I should make a video about that then. Like, I feel like our spirits have something that it agreed to. And it's like, we have to start honoring that, okay? We have to get over ourselves. We have to shift our beliefs so that we can really step into what it is our spirits are here to do. Ooh, it rhymed, so I know it's the truth, okay? Because it flowed, okay? That was flawless. Flawless. Yo, future shock. What's popping? I resonate with both too, and I've heard people say that too regarding. Yes, okay, perfect. Because I need to do more research on it. Yeah, because my inner world is definitely here for the Pisces energy. I just be like, yo, but then I can see why I need to be an Aries, because I wouldn't do nothing. I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't connect. Belize is great though. Belize is awesome. This month is the month that I originally came. So this month will be 2 years that I have been away from my mama and what I've known as home. And so I'm grateful for Belize. Like it's been quite a journey. I've learned so much about myself. The whole world changed while I was here, thinking about everything that's happened. I've lost two grandmothers. The only two grandparents that I've known, I've lost while I was here. I wasn't, able to go back either. So being able to process grief and all the stuff, yeah, 2 years, it kind of feels like, my accent be switching up a little bit now. I think I'm even trusting, like, I'm really here. I'm really doing this. My neighbors really are cool with me being, like, it's been amazing. This is the longest I've ever been away from home. And, when I moved to Belize, I wasn't a person, I traveled, like, I had traveled around the States, okay? And when I was growing up, we used to go to Canada because my grandmother was a pastor and she would go start churches in other places. But coming to Belize was actually my first time like leaving the country. And some people go places and visit, and I was like, you know what? I just gotta go. My spirit said go, so I'm gonna just get up and go. And this is gonna be crazy. And so I have gone through a lot of withdrawal symptoms of what it means to be American, what it means to be black, what it means to be a human. Like I've just it's so I would never, no matter where else I go, and I'm going to go other places because that's my goal. Like I want to go and share music and medicine and conversations with people all over the world. I want to go to the hoods all over the world. But I just feel like this place will always be special to me in my journey. Like this place will always have a deep significance. These people I'm always going to look at like, nah, them is my cousins too. And yes, detachment. It's so hard though, especially when you're in some place. Like I'm never going to judge people. I don't judge people in America. I just think the part of me that's American that has the right to call for change in America be like, y'all, really? But I also understand how hard it is to try to do the work in the middle of the like, yes, hoods all over the world. I would love to hear about that. Like, I need to put that on a shirt. Hoods all over the world. Yes. But I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. And it's humbling. Like it's really humbling. And I don't know, like my perspective has shifted so much. And I don't necessarily know how to integrate that, but I'm going to. Was there black people in those places? What did it look like? I don't need to have black people in the hood, but I'm just saying. I just even for myself. Were there black people in the hoods in Korea, Thailand, Japan, and Italy? Like, or was it, like I don't just tell me. I just want to know. I'm fascinated. Like, but yes, Belize is the first stop. But I'm going. We got stuff to do, y'all. Okay, y'all coming with me. We got stuff to do. Okay, we're going to the world, Craig. I don't know. I've been on here for an hour though. This is great. I'm getting better at this. Like when I first got on, first 20 minutes, I was like, no black people, but they were still hood. And that's cool. Like I actually feel like a Korean hood would probably feel like a black hood, even though they weren't. Like but that's also, I really want to do that. Like I want to travel and I want to document people's stories and archives. And even for stuff like that, like even understanding what the hood likes and looks like in the context of other places and with different people. Pimping all over the world. Da, 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 da. Yes, I wanted to listen to that. This is for my thick chicks down in Texas. I don't think that's the same song, but that made me. But many of the same hood problems. The problem is capitalism. Exactly. 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 See, and people need to see that. People need to like see on a cultural level what it looks like. You know? I don't know. I think I want to go to Caribbean places first because obviously I'm close, but also even more places in like Central America and South America and just seeing those type of people. And then I want to spread out. But I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Africa. I'm like, there's so many places. Asia interests me a whole lot, especially South Asia. Like, I don't know. There's so many places. Korean gangsters. That sounds amazing. They aunts probably make really good food. Like I would want to be able to talk to the Korean gangster's aunt. She probably got the best stories. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where that's where the future lives. That's where the truth lives. That's how we move forward as a culture, is if we start sharing these stories and these narratives and connecting them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Like, that sounds fun. I also just like to eat, and I love when people's aunties cook, you know? Oh, Cambodia. I used to live next to some Cambodians when I was in, it is, okay, so even when I be saying black, there's something about, black isn't, I know black American is a thing, but there's an energy of people who are like, have had to live brown experiences. Like there's an energy that we just all carry. Even from the way we cook our foods to the way we do stuff. Like we just all, even the gangsters, like it's like the part of us that's connected to like that indigenous energy, that like, I don't know, like that primal energy, like whatever you want to call it, just be hitting different, but it all be the same, like I feel like when I go around other cultures, it makes my blackness, or whatever blackness is, make more sense. When I see other people and like can see myself in them, it helps. Like it makes sense. Yes, that primordial energy. Yes. It sounds like Future Shock got a lot of stories. I'm gonna have to. Oh, okay, y'all. I've got this app that I'm on, and this is not me being like all the other YouTubers, because it's really not. I just found this app, but I'm talking on it. So it's called Stereo, and like I'm going live tonight talking about love and relationships. But it's kind of like podcast. It's set up like Clubhouse. I ain't never been on Clubhouse, so this is my first experience with these speaking apps. But I'm gonna be on there talking. Like today, I was in a conversation about mental health, and um, the other day I was talking to people about spirituality and where that fits in, like how we move forward. But hop on Stereo and find me, because we can talk about all of this stuff. But I was going to say I could probably have some of y'all on there and we could record the conversations on Stereo, but then I can make a video out of them to even post. So if y'all would be interested in that, hop on there. You're on a boat tour last Friday today, so I had the boat all to myself, and the boat guides were dark. Okay, darker than me and you. Know what they said that broke my heart, but also raised me up. I was the first brown race. Oh, see, that's how you know black people everywhere be going through the same thing. It's like, why? No. Exactly, divine baby. I'm here for all of that. Exactly. It's like, I don't know. America just have us all confused. And all we see is the light people in the world. So we forget that. Everywhere there's somebody. That's why I asked you that question too. Not because even when I said where there are black people, I should have said where there are darker people in those places. Like where, because everywhere there's some darker people, and they don't, but we don't, you know what I'm saying. And that's a whole nother conversation I ain't trying to get into today. I don't know, y'all. This is fun though. I'm gonna go live more often. I went live last week. I went live this week. Exactly. People need to know they have options. People need to see. But I don't know. I'm so grateful for y'all, and we're gonna make this a regular, regular thing. Okay. Keep it real cool and chill. Where I'm probably gonna be ranting and raving about something because somebody said something, and I had a moment where I was like, "Oh my God, humans are so stupid." But then I had to remember that I have to love humans and not judge them. And then we'll just talk and vibe. And America has turned the world into a jail for us, for real. I got so many questions about are Koreans racist, and did you have to be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This world that we live in, so many topics. Obviously, thank you for sharing, Future Shocked. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for hopping on. Like this video if you didn't already. And I appreciate to everybody who liked it. Yes, please make this a. We are. As long as y'all keep showing up, I'm gonna show up. And I'm also learning that even if y'all don't show up, I'm still gonna show up because I'm doing this for myself. I've spent so long. I say this stuff all the time, but I've spent so long suppressing and swallowing myself and dimming my light. And so many of us do. So many of us have to shrink and not be empowered, because in a world where the norm is to like be a little cynical or to not really whatever, it is hard for people to just walk around and be confident and walk around and be joyful and walk around and know who they are without somebody taking offense to that or having a problem with it. So this is me really practicing just being able to be my most authentic self and talk to some people who trying to hear what I gotta say. Because if you wasn't on here, if you was, you wouldn't be on here this long if you wasn't at least interested, you know. Because I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of talking to walls and then trying to shift my voice to or make it louder to get around the wall. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna talk to walls no more. Okay, that's what I learned. Okay, Simon said stop talking to walls. Okay, so I said okay, I got you. But we definitely gonna make this more regular. I gotta get ready to go because I'm starting an herbalism course tonight and I need to hop on that. So I'm grateful for y'all. I appreciate y'all. Tap in all the time. I love y'all so much. And you know, it's your girl, the Hood Alchemist, here bringing you the art of transformation infused with so much flavor, y'all, and so much culture. Who knows if I'm gonna keep this on here, but I just might. So love y'all. And we out. Hey. And we out. Yeah. And we out. Yeah. Thank you, girl. I know I just sang by, but it's specifically a doula-based postpartum course too in the Southern tradition. So I'm really excited to expand my medicines and my formulas, and I'll definitely be sharing more stuff like that in the future. Just period, point blank. Okay, but for real, I gotta go because I'm about to be late. So I love y'all. Until next time, my friends, my cousins. Until next time, good night, cousins. Good night. Good night. Good night.